Morning. It's the neighborhood potato, everybody. If you've made it this far in this video, I appreciate you watching. This is one of my normal hiking spots that I go to. It's a lot of single track, easy hike stuff, but I normally do this about twice a week. And it's been a while since I've taken Grimace out to do this. And I'm going to try my best to do a non-stop film. If you want to hear me talk some more about this, that, and the other, let me know in the comments. Because otherwise, if you don't want to hear me talk, I'll just shut up and you guys can enjoy a walk through the Pacific Northwest trails. I will say this is a pretty great day for this. It's about 65, 68 degrees and raining. Yesterday it was 90 degrees and sucked ass. I don't think I could have picked a better day to do this. When I go out on this trail, I keep an eye out for other people and especially with the dogs. And there's actually, this is a horse riding trail as well. You might have seen some of the horse exhaust on the ground in a few spots. Anytime I see an animal of any sort, I'm going to be courteous and I'm going to stop my vehicle, pick it up, say hello to the people, be friendly. I've only ever had one encounter where somebody was grumpy about my vehicle. They said I was going to scare horses, and which could be true, but at the same time, if your horse gets spooked easy, I think you shouldn't be taking out in the public anyway. But as an extra precaution, I just pick up my vehicle, say hello. Most of the horse people have been super friendly and they think it's neat that I'm doing this. And there's quite a bit of trails throughout here, and there's some spots that I can pull over and climb on and whatnot, but I mainly do this for my own exercise and the fun of it. Horse exhaust. I will say on average when I do this, I used to do this about twice a week, and it's about, I'll say on average I do about 3 miles in through here. And I'm going at a pretty fast pace, pretty fast walking pace. Try again, Grimace. I did a little freshen up on Grimace this morning, added some grease to the diffs. I didn't check the portal boxes. Hey look, more horse exhaust. But I added some more grease to the center transmission for the transfer case. I'm driving most of this one-handed so I can try to keep it as stable as possible. I'm going to pause for a second. Just had some horses go past. I just got done talking about that. Super friendly, as long as you're friendly to them, and we respect each other. More horse exhaust. There's a lot of it out here. Every now and then you'll run across the bicyclists as well out here. Some people on e-bikes, some people on pedal bikes. I'm trying out Mavericks on Grimace today. Last time I was out, Grimace had some cheap knockoff BFG KO2s, the BFG all-terrains, and they did well. They're going to be high wearing, and I like a high wearing tire in the summertime because I wore out a set of clone BFG mud terrains last year. Wintertime I normally run RC 4-wheel drive groundhogs, and they've been fantastic. I typically don't play in the creek too much because some people can get a little upset about an oily vehicle or whatever in the creek, so I don't stick around in the water very much. But unless there's a puddle out on the road or some mud in the middle of the trail. Let's go check out Custer's chimney. I'm running a RC6 GS radio link. Allows me to run speed cruise control. Comes in very handy. This is quite the grade, so you're going to hear me breathe a little harder. Because I'm a fat man. Custer's chimney's this way. Yep. Here's Custer's chimney. What's left of his house. Built in the same year as my house. See ya, Custer. Grimace is also on a 2-speed from a Red Cat Gen8. Whew. That hill got me. I have no idea how the audio is going to turn out on this. Could be fine, could be crappy. Let me know. I'm just recording this off of an old phone with no microphone, no nothing. Is there a way around here, Grimace? Let's find out. Uh-oh. Grimace down. There, he's back. So Grimace has also got a belt drive rather than the gears. I've been trying to get him as quiet as possible because a noisy RC car is not what I want in the woods. Bridge crossing with more horse exhaust. Oh no! That's what I get for screwing around. But with the 2-speed and the belt drive, Grimace is pretty quiet. And with the 2-speed, I'm running about 50% on throttle, if not less, maybe 45%. Let's see, I'm on 48% cruise right now. Road apples. I'm running 5200 3S pack, and usually by the end of my trek I still have a bit of battery life left, probably about a third left, but it also depends on how many times I stop and play around. I might try to build a stick to go to the bottom of the radio to where you can get a lower angle. But at this point, I'm going to keep recording until I either run out of phone battery, camera battery, oh no! Grimace liked that stick. Grimace's panhard mount's a little loose right now, so sometimes I'm having to fight a little bit with steering it, keeping it straight. I guess that's one thing I'll have to do when I get home. This is Grimace's second body. The first one got split up pretty bad, and it had the full headlights and everything in it. I tried keeping this one nice, and then I went out and got a little too frisky with it, and split it just like the other one. So I'm probably gonna have to buy another one and put all the lights in it. You know, I can hot glue and reinforce the split, but I don't like trying to fix the splits. Yeah, the original center drive shaft for the 2-speed that goes from the transmission to the transfer case was sucked, to say the least. Saw an opportunity, had to play around a little bit. And there was no, for the back to the center drive shaft issue, for the Gen9s with the 2-speed and the Gen8s with adding the 2-speed, it's the same situation, same drive shaft. The drive shaft is a dog bone setup, and it just sucks. I went through the heavy duty ones within a month, and I bought another set and started going through another in a month, and I said heck with this. So I made a little video of it. I know I say a lot, but that's just the way my brain works. I'm trying to work on that. I found, for the center drive shafts, I found some cheap CVD style drive shafts on AliExpress, Amazon, and I used my lathe at home and my knowledge, and I made a CVD style drive shaft for the center. It's like the shortest CVD style you can get. It's I think I have it at like 32 millimeters, 34 millimeters pin to pin. And it's been quiet. I use, Squirt e-bike chain lube. A lot of times when I'm going backwards on the trail from what I normally do. Normally I go up this. Shift to low gear. Oh, come on, Grimace. Good Grimace for my driving. Grimace is pretty stable for the most part. It's got a bunch of brass up front, zero brass in the rear. See, there's cruise in first gear. Stop, put it in high gear. Same percent. Okay, now we're just going to go back the way we came because that was just a loop. We made it back to the water. I did this in a short. I might have to go retrieving. Yep, it's retrieval time. I'm not going to make a big mess. Watch out for the stinging nettles. There we go. Grimace, we had to try. Anyway, back to my center drive shaft. The dog bone allows for some flex between the transmission and transfer case. The dog bone setup, or the CVD setup that I have, it's rigid, but there's a little bit of slack in the pieces themselves and the transmissions, so it allows for a little bit of play. And I've easily gotten, this is my first one, and I've gotten, I don't know, 10 times the miles out of it than the dog bones. Now we're on a part that gets a little bit more people, so I might pause it a little bit more. We'll see. And like I said, if you've made it this far, I appreciate you. And if you're gonna have to let me know, because I'm doing this all one take. I'm not editing anything out. I'm just going for my walk. There are many other trails in this park. I'm just going to keep it simple for today. And if you hear me breathing too much or however the audio is terrible, let me know and then I'll see what I can do to fix it. I can either film it like this or just do like I have done in the past, just do little snippets of me having fun out on these trails. Let me know. Morning. Once we get back to the beginning of the trail, I'll turn off the recording. And it looks like we're about there. Good old raspberry loop. Even though I haven't seen any raspberries on this loop. Or that's not raspberry loop, raspberry lane. All right, we made it back, safe and sound. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for watching.